Shalom, brothers and sisters. Happy new moon. Get your pens and your papers out. Tonight's class, or today's class, is the duties of the priesthood. Con? And part of the duties of the priesthood was to teach the people the difference between the clean and the unclean, between the holy and the unholy. Okay, between the holy and the regular common thing. You got me? Okay, so now, if you notice, throughout our captivities and as the world changed, you got your different time change, the different period change. But guess what? The principles of the scriptures remain the same. The law never went anywhere. The structure, it never went anywhere. Man changed it, but the scriptures didn't change. The Most High did not change it. Okay, so let's go into what is the duties of the priesthood. Let's go first to the book of Malachi, the 2nd chapter and the 7th verse. When you get it, call that out and read it. The book of Malachi, the 2nd chapter and the 7th verse.
Read out of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 7.
Come on.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
The priest's lips shall do what? Keep knowledge. That's what should be coming out of the priest's lips. What? Knowledge. Go ahead.
And they should speak the law at his mouth.
And the people should seek.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
And the people shall seek the law from who? The priest. Come on.
For he is the messenger of the Most High. Come on. All the spirits.
He's the messenger. The priest is the messenger. Priests and prophets is the messenger of the Most High of hosts. Because the priests and the prophets are consecrated to the Most High. They are holy to the Most High. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, the 44th chapter and the 23rd verse. When you get it, call it out and read it. Y'all write these scriptures down now.
What verse?
Ezekiel, the 44th chapter and the 23rd verse. Come on.
Read out Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 23.
Let's go.
And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane.
That's the priest. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane. Go ahead.
And cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean.
And cause the people to discern between the clean and the unclean. But we're going to get another scripture that shows where the priests fell off. And they wasn't showing the people what's holy and what's unholy. Because look, there are holy days and there are common days, right? There are a holy dress code and there's a common dress code. There are holy places and there are common places, just like regular places. The occasions, some of them are common and some occasions are holy. You got holy money and you got regular money. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Y'all didn't know the Most High deal with money? The Most High don't deal with treasures? Okay, we're going to read about it. So there's holy treasures and there's just common treasures for the use of yourself. And we're going to read scriptures where some of our people in the ancient of days they was put to death because of certain monies that supposedly have been holy for the Most High, but they used it for themselves or they stole from the Most High. So there's holy money and there's common money. You got me? Now let's go to the book of Acts, the 5th chapter. Y'all write these scriptures down. The book of Acts, the 5th chapter, we're going to read from the 1st verse all the way down to the 11th verse. When you get it, call it out and read it.
Read out of Acts chapter 5, verse 1.
Come on.
But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife,
So before we go into that, read on, finish that though.
sold a possession.
Sold a possession. Now the scripture reads, but a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession. Now when they sold this possession, we're going to read on down that the money that they got from the sale of this land supposed to have been went to the Most High. But when they came to Peter, they tried to shortchange it. See, because the way it reads that they was under a vow that they was going to give this to the apostles or give it to the treasures of the Most High. Let's go to, let's read up a little bit. Acts the 4th chapter and the 34th verse to the 37th. Come on.
Read out of Acts chapter 4, verse 34.
Come on.
Neither was there any among them that lacked.
That's the apostles and the followers. Go ahead.
For as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them.
See, for many that possessed the lands and houses, what they did, they sold them. Read on.
And brought the prices of the things that were sold.
And they brought the monies. See? Go ahead.
Verse 35. And laid them down at the apostles' feet.
And laid them down at the apostles' feet with no second thought, no cares whatsoever. Because there wasn't any trickery going on until we get to the 5th chapter. Go ahead.
And distribution was made unto every man according as he had need.
Right. Come on.
And Joses, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which is being interpreted the son of consolation,
Right.
a Levite, and of the country of Cyprus, having land, sold it.
Barnabas had land. What did he do? He sold it. Read on.
And brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet.
Brought the money and just sit it down by our feet. Look, man, whatever you need to do with this, do as you will. I know it's going to be righteous dealings. Okay, let's go to the 5th verse. Start from the 1st verse again.
Reading out of Acts chapter 5, verse 1.
Come on.
But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession.
Let's go.
And kept back part of the price.
Ain't there something? Kept back part of the price. Read on.
His wife also being privy to it.
Okay, she was down with it. Let's go.
And brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet.
And remember that they had gave a word on what they gonna do. We gonna sell this piece, okay? And the price that we get for it, the proceeds, all of it go to the apostles. All of it go to the needs of who need what. But then, you know, look, Satan got in their head and now they start thinking something else now. Come on.
Verse 3. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled thine heart to lie to the Holy Spirit?
See, Peter picked up. Most High already showed him. But why you want to play with the Most High, bro? Why does Satan getting you to tempt you to lie? Go ahead.
And to keep back part of the price of the land?
You say you're going to give it all. So why get half of it? Why give a part? You say you was going to give it all. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Whiles it remained, was it not thine own? And after it was sold,
Right.
was it not in thine own power?
Right. You could have said you're going to give what you're going to give, man. It's your power. But no, you made that vow. Hey, we just going to give it up. We're going to give it all for the cause. Go ahead.
Why hast thou conceived this thing in thine heart? Thou hast not lied unto men,
Go ahead.
but unto the Most High.
And that's when you get in trouble, when you lie to the Most High. When you steal from the Most High. That's trouble there. And we're going to read about Achan from the tribe of Judah that stole this, where they took the silver, gold, Babylonian garment. Okay, he thought he was just taken from the land, but you was taken from the Most High. That's why they had to put him to death, man.
Right.
That was a serious deal, man. The Most High said, Israel, you have robbed me. But Israel said, robbed the Most High? When have we robbed you? He said, you robbed me through my tithes. And the offering, you have ripped me off. You have robbed me. Yeah, the Most High don't play. See the little things that we think that the Most High is not concerned about, the Most High is serious about. And the Most High put people to death over lies. He put them to death over if they're not doing his will. Even if you make vows, what we're reading about now. See, they didn't keep their vow, they gonna give half. Okay, what about the rest of it? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the spirit.
Right there. Go ahead.
And great fear came on all them that heard these things.
Okay, an example had to be made. See, the Most High make examples. Examples have to be made, just like in these last days with the Israelites as we sit. Examples would have to be made to make Israel realize that we're one people. It ain't about this camp, that school, that school. The Most High gonna put it where you're gonna have to depend and you're gonna need one another. Okay, it ain't no separation, no division whatsoever. And the Most High is gonna bring hell up on earth. Okay, and he gonna use the Antichrist to bring hell upon us and persecute us. Okay, just like Antiochus the Fourth Epiphanes, just like a Nimrod, just like the other Antichrist figures back in ancient days, like a Nero Caesar. Okay, the Most High gonna make us unify. You don't want to be made to unify. Okay, it's there to unify, but the Most High is gonna make you unify, and the ones that don't, it's gonna be just like in the Maccabee period. The ones that joined the Maccabee come on this side, and the ones that didn't, they was destroyed. Okay, just like the time of Moses and Dathan. Okay, when they came bickering with Moses, hey Moses, I think we should be on your level. I think the Most High should be dealing with us too. So Moses said, well, that ain't mine to give. Let me check with the Most High. He gonna work something today and we'll find out who he's really dealing with. And the earth opened and squatted with what, about 200 and something? It was a lot of them. They wasn't like, they was important men in the nation. They weren't just this other guy right here. They was top officials in the nation. And the Most High got rid of them. And I'll show you who I'm dealing with.
Many men, many men.
Go ahead and read.
Verse 6. And the young men rose, wound him up, and carried him out and buried him.
You hear, and the young men rose and they wound him up. Ain't that something? I mean, could it have been a better word than that? No, wound, and showing you that the Most High said, look, man, don't have no sympathy for this man. And when his wife come in, the Spirit gonna do the same thing to her. Don't you have sympathy for them? Because they have trampled upon my righteousness. Don't have sympathy for them. Wound them up and get them up out of here. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Gracias, that wound up was the
Rapping.
Rapping.
Wrapping them up with the cloth.
Wrap them up and get them out of here.
You said wound them up. Verse 7.
Either way, you wrap him and get him on out the gate.
Either way, he's dead, right?
Yeah, go ahead and bury him right now. Go ahead, don't give nobody time to mourn. Get them up out of here, put them in the ground now. Read on.
Verse 7. And it was about the space of 3 hours after, when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in.
So she somewhere else. She dealing with something else. The news didn't get to her. 3 hours, she steps in. Come on.
Verse 8. And Peter answered unto her, tell me whether ye sold the land for so much. And she said, yeah, for so much.
Giving her a chance. Giving her a chance to be clean with it, man. Yeah, well, I sold it for such and such. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Then Peter said unto her, how is it that ye have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Most High? Behold, the feet of them which have buried thy husband are at the door, and shall carry thee out.
That's it, man. Yeah, come on.
Then fell she down straightway at his feet, and yielded up the spirit. And the young men came in.
Young men again.
And found her dead. And carrying her forth, buried her by her husband. And great fear came upon all the church, and upon as many as heard these things.
So examples have to be made for we as stubborn, rebellious, and hard-headed people,
Right.
examples have to be shown to us to make us fear.
Right.
The Most High, to make us understand, okay, well, I better get right. I better get right. I better get on this side. Okay, let's go from there. Let's go to the book of Joshua, the 7th chapter. We're going to start from the 19th to the 26th verse. The book of Joshua, the 7th chapter, from the 19th verse to the 26th verse.
Read out of Joshua chapter 7, verse 19. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Most High, power of all Israel, and make confessions unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me.
Okay, now Joshua is speaking to a Judite by the name of Achan. Now, this is when the Israelites, that was the first city that they attacked, right, to get to the promised land, to get to the land of Canaan. So Jericho, you remember when they marched around Jericho and the walls fell? So Jericho was the first city that they attacked, entering into Canaan. Okay, so the orders came down from the Most High was, look, you don't touch nothing in there. You don't take anything. See the Most High don't mind us taking, but the Most High want his first. See, because Jericho was the first fruits. That was the first land attack. So everything in it was the first fruits. Everything, the silver, the gold, everything belongs to the Most High. You don't take nothing until the Most High get his first. Then he said, okay, you want to loot. Okay, but the first fruits comes to me first. But Achan wasn't hearing that, man. So read that again, what Joshua was saying to him.
You're not Joshua chapter 7 verse 19.
Right.
And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Most High, power of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me.
Hide it not from me, because look, the Most High wasn't giving us the land of Jericho just to give it to us. No, the Most High was giving us that land because the people in Jericho was rebellious people. They was rebellion against the Most High. So every land that the Most High gave us that we took, they was rebellious against the Most High. So it wasn't anything that we did or how mighty we were. No, these nations was rebellious. But the Most High took them down. But when you read scriptures, scripture would say that Israel took them down, but by whose power? The Most High. See, so Jericho was the first fruits of Israel entering the land of Canaan. That land was the first fruit. So the first fruit, they tell you in the law, it goes to the Most High. The firstborn, the Most High. Okay, but Achan is going to take on himself. I want to get this silver, gold, Babylonian garment. I'm going to hide it in my tent and so forth. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 20. And Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed I have sinned against the Most High, power of Israel, and thus have I done.
Okay. See, in the gospel, Yahushua always teaches us and always show us how to stop from committing a sinful act. When he gave the example of committing adultery, he said, if you look upon a woman in lust, you've already committed adultery in your mind, in your heart. So Yahushua was trying to show us, he was showing us to stop it before the physical acts occur. So this brother say, I know I have sinned. See, this after the fact though. I know that I have sinned. Okay, but he should have known that from the orders that was given to Joshua from the Most High. Joshua explained everything to Israel before they entered Jericho. These are the guidelines. These are the do's. These are the don'ts. Okay, don't take this, don't take nothing. The Most High is going to give us. We're going to conquer many lands. after this one. And the lands that we go into to conquer, yeah, you can take the silver, you can take the gold, because Jericho had a lot of silver, bronze, iron, gold, because they had a lot of idols. See, they was making idols out of their silver, that gold, and the iron, and the metals, and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, so that's another reason why the Most High said, take them down. Spare not.
Right.
I think it was one family, this is the right story, right? It was one family that was saved through that. I think that was Rahab, the female harlot. She was liberated because she helped the spies escape. Okay, so you put in with the Most High work with you.
Right.
Okay, and then when you read the scriptures, it said that she dwelt amongst Israel unto this day. Okay, continue to read.
Verse 21. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment.
That must have been a bad garment, man. I mean, to risk your life, your family life for this garment, that must have been a bad garment, brother. A goodly Babylonish garment. That must have been a bad garment, man. Yeah, go ahead.
And 200 shekels of silver.
Yeah, well, we know about the money thing, you know. Yeah, we all going to get, you know, taken to the side about this money.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight. Then I coveted them and took them.
Right.
And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent.
Okay, so he knew what he was doing from the jump. Go ahead.
And the silver under it.
It wasn't worth it though, man. Now they're gonna bring your family out. They're gonna bring your sheep. They're gonna bring your animals out, because anything that has your vibration on it that's connected with you, it has to go. Got to get rid of it, man. Can't have anything that's resembling you or your madness or your energy. It got to go.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 22.
And we just getting in the land. We just starting out. Okay, we done spent 40 years and so forth, man. We just starting out. No, we're not going to have that. No, we're not going to have it. We into the promised land, we're not going to have it. I mean, that Moses messed up as well. The Most High told Moses, look, I'm going to let you see the land, but you're not going to enter into it, because you didn't give me the glory when you hit that rock. Okay, you let Israel get you all bent out of shape, and you didn't honor me. You said, let me smite this rock for you rebels. No, you should have put me out there. But I'm going to let you see the land, but you're not going to enter in it. It was hell entering in that land, though, man. See, another thing, when, like the priests back in those days, man, it was a fearful thing to work for the Most High, to be a priest. Look, the Most High told the priests, I want you to wear little bells at the hem of your garment, so I can hear them bells sound before you approach me. You know, the tabernacle. Yeah, the ark, rather. Yeah. So the Most High know he was there anyway, you know, but the Most High just does things with symbols, man. You know, to make him that almighty God. He's not like man, he's not like the other gods. So if the priest didn't have those bells, he would die right there, man. And there was certain we're gonna get into the incense too. There were certain fires that was used. See, in the sanctuary, you probably had many fires. But the Most High said, no, I want you to use this fire. Because this is the fire that came from the heavens, from the spirit realm. I want you to use that. We're going to read Leviticus 10 about the two boys that got killed. The Most High killed them for offering what? Profane, strange fire. Okay, I mean, it was fire all over the place. They looked the same. All of them burned, right? But there was a particular fire that the Most High said, that's my fire. That's the fire that I want you to use. Them boys messed up, man. They had to wound them up too and take them on out the gate, man. Get them out of here. Go ahead and read.
Yeah, he put
go ahead.
The high priest also had a rope around him, so that if just in case he might have died in there, they pulled him out.
Yeah, pull him out.
They pulled him. He had a rope tied around him when he went inside the Holy of Holies.
Yeah, man, it was a serious thing, you know, for you Levites. Now the Most High said we're going to be a nation of kings and priests. But the Levite's job back then was a dangerous job, brother.
All praises.
check this out. You don't know how many Levites they had to drag from out of their dead. You know, if they had them messed up, brother. So they had to be on point. Just like those two boys, man. I mean, they had studied this. Aaron, Moses have taught them how to do this thing year after year, man. They know, they knew. So why on that day you're gonna make a mistake with the fire? You've been doing it for months, man. I mean, you've been doing it for years. So that was a dangerous job. That job requires you can't slip. You can't even blink. You can't even slip for a second, man. Because if you slip, you might walk across something, or you might misplace something, and you're gone. So that means you have to be on point. Good. At all times. Just like I say, they are holy days, they are regular days. They are holy garments, they are regular garments. Because the priest, after he finished the burnt offerings, when he went to enter the altar of the Most High, he had to change his garments. He had to change.
That's right.
And then the Most High said, I don't even want you around me with all that sweat. Most High, that's a dangerous job, man. That's all they did. Because if they was doing that and doing what we do today, well, I got to go on my 9 to 5 and come. You'd be all confused. You would have been dead a long time ago, man. Because you can't keep up with it. Good. Trying to deal with the world and no, the Most High's not going to allow you to do that, man. That's why the Most High speaks about nation. That's why He had to gather us and get us away from all people to deal with us. Okay, you work for me. Okay, I pay you. I feed you. I clothe you. Okay, come on, let's go.
Verse 22. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent. And behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it.
You hear what it said? Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent. These messengers wasn't playing games, brother. They came like a troop. Get ready to arrest the guy. You arrested, man. We're going to put you on trial right now. You're going to be sentenced right now. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Most High.
You hear that? And they what? Brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before who?
The Most High.
Come on.
Verse 24.
And you know they said, look, Most High, this is your 10%. It was his 10% from the jump, from the very beginning. Okay, that's the Most High's treasure. That's his money. Go ahead.
And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Most High. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters.
Sons with an S. His daughters with an S.
And his oxen.
And his oxen, and man, he so happened to be from the tribe of Judah, man. You know, go ahead.
And his asses.
Asses with an S. Go ahead.
And his sheep.
Come on.
And his tent.
And his tent. Took his house from him. Go ahead.
And all that he had. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor.
Go ahead.
Verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Most High shall trouble thee this day.
You hear what Joshua said? He said, why hast thou troubled us? Because when Achan stole this stuff, Joshua sent some men to go out to war. They lost that war. A lot of men was put to death. So Joshua said, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? I mean, we ain't lost no battles. The Most High got us this victory. Why are we losing now? Why people die now? Something's wrong here. Okay, we got to inspect the camp now. Because when you read before in the previous chapter, it speaks about Joshua had lined up the Israelites by their tribes, their families, and so forth. They inspect this whole thing like a nation. See, that's what the Most High wants us to do. Inspection like a nation. What went wrong? What's going on? Why we can't unify? Why, but listen, we won't get it here.
Right.
It'll have to be the Spirit of the Most High that bring that together, something very drastic.
Right.
You understand? Because I doubt if we'll come under one roof. I mean, when brothers speak about unity, that's not what they're talking about. Hey, brother, brothers speaking about the martial law, they not speaking. Yeah, just have respect for one another. If I pass by your camp, Shalom, brother. Give me a pass. Shalom, brother. Y'all brothers need anything? You good? That's all brothers is asking for. Respect. Because I doubt if we'll be under one roof in order. No. Because brothers got their own ideas from their different congregations and schools. But respect, that's not hard to give. You got me? Okay, continue reading.
Verse 25. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Most High shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones and burned them with fire after they had stoned them with stones.
Right, burned them what?
Burned them with fire after they had stoned them with stones.
Let's get this negative influence up out of it. Let's, in other words, let's cleanse this right here. Let's purify it. Go ahead.
Verse 26. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Most High turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor until this day.
Okay, so the priests and the prophets, they were holy to the Most High. They was consecrated to the Most High. You don't mess with his priests. You don't mess with his prophets. And I'm going to go to a story where some children was messing with one of the Most High's prophets. Okay. Let's go to Elisha.
Can I finish this? Wait a minute. I just wanted y'all to know. I just wanted y'all to know. Said, and the place Achor was called Achor unto this day, which means that is trouble. The place was called trouble.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna take something and the regulations or the rules was given to you from the beginning. So now we got to go out to fight. And now men are being sacrificed for your mistakes. So yeah, it's trouble.
Right.
Yeah, you got to go.
Right.
Because your son might grow up acting like you.
Right.
Your daughter might be influenced by you. Your wife, just like Ananias and his wife Sapphira, she was influenced by her husband. So you had to take both of them out.
Right.
See, so Achan messed up. His whole family had to go. I don't know, your sheep got to go too, your ox got to go, everything that you have. Let me have his sheep, Moses. No, don't take nothing of his. I don't want you to have nothing. Burn them all. Take them out. Let's go to 2 Kings, the 2nd chapter. We're going to read the 23rd to the 25th verse. 2 Kings, the 2nd chapter. 23rd to the 25th verse.
Read out of 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 23.
Let's go.
And he went up from thence unto Bethel.
This is Elisha. Go ahead.
And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head.
Yeah, those are our children. Look at the way they act today. So they running out. Go on, they were saying a little bit more than that now. Go up your, they was putting, like that old fiery spirit to it. Go up your bald head, get on up here. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 24. And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Most High.
So Elisha turned back and he looked at them because he knew that he was consecrated, he was holy. He was the Most High's man. The kids gonna talk to him. What? Disrespect. He looked back and cursed them in the name of who? The Most High. Go ahead.
And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood.
They was right on time. Go ahead.
And tear 40 and 2 children of them.
42, brother. Because when you are consecrated to the Most High, anointed to the Most High, and like the priests, the prophets, they're holy to the Most High, they're connected to the Most High.
Right.
You don't play games with them.
Right.
No. Elisha about his business, passing through.
Right.
42 knucklehead children comes out messing with the man. The hell, you know, I just healed, I just did this, I just put life back in people by the Spirit of the Most High. They gonna act that way and talk to me that way, disrespect me? Yeah, go ahead and read.
Verse 25. And he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria.
To Samaria. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel 22:26. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 22, verse 26.
Reading out Ezekiel, chapter 22, verse 26.
And this is where we at now, as of today. Go ahead.
Her priests have violated my law.
Yep.
And have profaned mine holy things.
Yep.
They have put no difference between the holy and profane.
No. Go ahead.
Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and clean.
Right.
And have hid their eyes from my Shabbats.
Go ahead.
And I am profane among them.
I am profane amongst them. Let's go from there. Let's go to the book of Leviticus, 10th chapter. We're going to read 1 to 11. Leviticus, the 10th chapter, from the first verse all the way down to the 11th verse. Leviticus, the 10th chapter, from 1 to 11.
Reading out Leviticus chapter 10, verse 1. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer.
Go ahead.
And put fire therein.
See, they took their censers and they put fire therein. Go ahead.
And put incense thereon.
See, they took the fire, then they put the incense on the fire. Go ahead.
And offered strange fire before the Most High, which he commanded them not.
So it seems like the incense, it seemed like that might have been okay, but it was the fire that they was using. See, the fire is what the Most High had a problem with: strange, profane, unauthorized fire. Okay, let's go. We coming back to this. Let's go to Leviticus, the 16th chapter, and the 12th to the 13th verse. Because you had fire in the sanctuary that came directly from the Most High. See, you had a fire here, fire there, but the fire here is what the Most High wanted you to use. That came directly from the Most High. Because the Most High said the fire that's on the altar shall be burning continually. You had to keep that burning 24/7, 7 days a week, or at all times, because that fire represented what? The Most High is present. Because the Most High said, I am a consuming fire. Okay, when John the Baptist, when he came on the scene, I think in Matthew 3 or 4, he spoke about Yahushua. He said, yeah, I baptize you with water, but he that's coming after me shall baptize you with what? Fire. So Yahushua was baptizing the people. He baptized them what? With miracle, healings. And in the future, he's going to baptize them with fire of judgment. So that's what John the Baptist was saying. Okay, and then he spoke about his floor, you know, you can get the chapter read. I can't remember how the scripture go, but y'all know it. Okay, because their fire was judgment, and the miracles, the healing, and Yahushua came with, he said the fire's in his hand, or the fan, the power's in his hand. Okay, go ahead and read.
Read out Leviticus chapter 16, verse 12. And he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before the Most High, and his hands full of sweet incense, beaten small, and bring it within the veil.
Come on.
And he shall put the incense upon the fire before the Most High, that the cloud of the incense may cover the mercy seat that is upon the testimony, that he die not.
See, every order, where every position, every job that the priest did, the order was you do this and you do this right, and at the end of it, so you won't die.
Word.
It's not you're going to get fired or they're going to cut your checks. No, you're going to get dismissed. No, you can't get unemployment off that. You're going to die. So that's why I said it was dangerous. It was a dangerous job for the priests back in those days, man. You had to be on point at all times. At all times, brother. You couldn't slip. You couldn't make no mistakes. There was no room for mistakes. If you was Aaron's sons or whoever's sons you were, there were no mistakes because they taught and they guided you and showed you how to work for the Most High. Okay, it wasn't no coming back. It wasn't no you laid off. No, you put to death. That's what that is. Okay, did we finish that?
Yeah.
Let's go to Leviticus 9th chapter. We're going to read the 23rd and the 24th verse. And then we're going back to the 10th.
Read now Leviticus 9, chapter 23, you said?
Yeah, 23.
I mean,
Because
verse 23.
when you read in the scripture in Exodus, it tells you that the Most High was a pillar of fire by what?
By night.
By night.
Burning. The Most High specialized in fire. Yeah, specializes in fire, bro. That's something, man. Go ahead.
Read now Leviticus chapter 9, verse 23. And Moses and Aaron went into the tabernacle of the congregation and came out and blessed the people. And the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the people.
It said the glory. See, fire also represents the Most High's glory. His power and his presence. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And there came a fire out from before the Most High.
A fire out from before the Most High. Go ahead.
And consumed upon the altar the burnt offering and the fat, which when all the people saw, they shouted and fell on their faces.
What else could they do? Yeah, because the Most High said, I would not destroy the earth again with water, but this time it's going to be by fire. Yeah, so fire plays a big role in judgment. It's a purification, it's a cleansing. You understand that? Okay, so let's go back to Leviticus, the 10th chapter. And let's start from the first verse. We're going to the 11th, from 1 to 11.
Read now Leviticus chapter 10, verse 1. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Most High, which he commanded them not.
Right, unauthorized fire. Let's go to Leviticus 6 chapter real quick, from 10 to 13. Then we're going to jump back to the 10th. We got to get the 10th in. Leviticus the 6th chapter, 10th verse to the 13th.
Read out Leviticus chapter 6, verse 10. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen breeches
Come on.
shall he put upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire has consumed,
Which the fire had consumed. There it is, fire again. Go ahead.
with the burnt offerings on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off his garment and put on other garments.
See, there are holy garments and there are common garments, regular garments. There are holy days and there are regular days. There are holy money and there's regular money. Remember what happened to Achan? He stole the holy money. He stole the Most High's tithes. Okay? You got me? So it's a difference. That's the priest's job, to teach the people the difference between the holy and the unholy.
Right.
The clean and the unclean.
Right.
That's the priest's job. But when the scripture we just read before, the priests have profaned the Most High's law. They not teaching the people that.
Right.
So they teach the people, okay, all God's food is good. You can eat pork. Yeah, well, come on, let's go worship God on Sunday, the first day of the week. So they are violated.
Right.
I mean, we're in a mess. I mean, we as Israelites is in a mess. Because look, we get here, we burn incense. but we're just rehearsing what they did back then and what should be done. Because if it wasn't for your house shot, if it wasn't for that grace period,
That's right.
wouldn't nobody be sitting in here, man.
Right.
This room would have spider webs and creeping things in it because nobody would be here.
Right.
So that's where the grace period come in at.
That's right.
See, because the incense we burn it, I mean, we would hope that Most High is loving it, but that's grace.
Right.
See, and then we're gonna go into our prayers, because the incense is offered up with our prayers. And sometimes we may think, oh man, my prayers went straight to the Most High. well, how are you a sinful person and defile lips? How your prayers gonna go straight to the Most High?
Right.
No, you need a mediator. In Revelation, I think we're gonna get that when the angel had to present the prayers. Yahushua is the mediator. He intercepts, and guess what he do? He clean up them prayers, man. He purified them prayers. Because your prayer ain't going nowhere to the Most High. Most High said, what? Because the scriptures say that he that turneth his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination. So yeah, you know, we slip a little bit. Okay, we cheat a little bit. Making excuses and everything. Okay, well, let me pray to the Most High. Most High said, get out of here, man. Get it to that angel. Give it to your house shot. Clean it up a little bit. Okay, where we at? Leviticus 6th chapter from the 10th to the 13th.
Right.
Okay, come on.
Okay, and he shall put off his garments, reading out of Leviticus chapter 6, verse 11. And he shall put off his garments and put on other garments and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it.
Right.
It shall not be put out.
It shall not be put out. Go ahead.
And the priest shall burn wood on it.
They got to keep that fire burning, man.
Every morning.
Most High started it. They got to continue that fire. It should not go out. If it goes out, them same priests won't be there no more. Officiate, they won't be there, brother. Most High ain't playing games with what's holy. Not playing games with that. Come on.
And lay the burnt offering in order upon it. And he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar. It shall never go out.
It shall never go out. Let's go back to the Leviticus 10th chapter. And let's read the second verse.
Read now Leviticus chapter 10, verse 2. And there went out fire from the Most High and devoured them. And they died before the Most High.
I mean, did we read earlier where some people in the book of Acts died before the Most High just like that? These two boys died before the Most High just like that. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Then Moses said unto Aaron, this is it that the Most High spake.
You hear what he said? He said, look, Aaron, this is it that the Most High spoke.
This is what he was talking about.
This is what he was talking about, man. The proof is right here. Go ahead. We gonna say the same thing too. Look, Israel, this is what the Most High was talking about. You know, we didn't see it in New York, but we out here in the jungle, we see it now. Go ahead.
I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace.
That's all the Most High is asking. He's asking sanctification, he's asking glorification, and he's asking honor, respect. That's what the Most High is asking. I am who I am. I am. Tell them I am sent you. That's who I am. And if you come into the Most High or treating him any other, you're going to have problems. You might even get death. And we're reading about it. Let's go. Come on.
And Aaron held his peace. Means Aaron ain't had nothing to say.
What could he say?
He had nothing to say.
Look. When you don't have power, when you actually have witnessed something that you can't control, that came from, it didn't come from a bullet, it didn't come from a knife, it didn't come from somebody getting hit by a car. No, when you see something like that, there's nothing you can say.
But the part, you know, you know that's his sons, so he got to be mourning. Oh, my boys. But and Aaron held his peace.
He held his peace. But when you read on down, it's gonna tell you why he held his peace, because he couldn't mourn them Because in the scriptures, it's a law that the priest, he can only mourn, what is,
Close relatives, right?
he can't even mourn his mother, can he?
Yeah, near kin.
Near kin, okay. We can read that. Okay, but the Most High had restrictions on his servants, those priests. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp.
He said, look, man, come and get your brethren and take them out the camp, because we have to continue. Go ahead.
Verse 5. So they went near and carried them in their coats out of the camp.
What, like Ben said, they wound them up? Go ahead.
And Moses had said, as Moses had said.
Right. Moses said unto Aaron.
And Moses said unto Aaron and unto Eleazar and unto Ithamar his son.
Come on.
Uncover not your heads.
Check this out. Start that over again.
And Moses said unto Aaron.
You were saying that Aaron couldn't say anything. He didn't have nothing to say. This is going to explain it.
And unto Eleazar and unto Ithamar his sons, uncover not your heads, neither rent your clothes, lest ye die.
See, the Most High is actually saying, look, don't you dare mourn them. Don't you rent your clothes. Don't you dare uncover your head. Don't you dare mourn. Those his sons. You better not mourn them. They're going to trample on my honor, my respect. Offering strange, profane, unauthorized fire. You better not mourn for them. Get them out of here. If you do, you show me that you sympathize with them. Oh, well, why did it happen to the Most High said, lest you die? You better go along with me on this. You better not mourn them. You better not have sympathy for them either. Because they disrespected me and my honor.
That's right.
That's what the Most High, that's what he mean right here, brother.
Right.
That's why he says you better not uncover, you better not even mourn for them. Don't go to the funeral, nothing. Don't even send a card. Go ahead, let's go.
And lest wrath come upon all the people.
And now he's adding the people in there too. Let's go.
Wait a minute, let me get it.
See, the Most High said, look, you better not mourn for them, but look, if the rest of the regular people, if they want to mourn, go ahead and let them mourn, but you better fulfill your office.
That's right.
Mourn. Let me get them tears out you. Fulfill your office. Go ahead.
But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which the Most High has kindled.
That's it. What it said. Not them, but bewail the burning that the Most High had kindled. Come on.
Glorify the burning.
We're right. Glorify this. Because they was off. They was wrong. Let's go.
Verse 7. And ye shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, lest you die. For the anointing oil of the Most High is upon you.
Okay, don't even go out there and kick it with him. Don't even go out there and take a look and make sure he wrapped up right. Don't even peek. Say, well, I want them to get him to the grave. Don't even show any concern about it, man.
Right.
It ain't your business no more. You do my service. Come on.
And they did according to the words of Moses.
Okay. Now, I was reading some history on why did these two boys, why did they make a mistake like that? And they know better. When we read the next verse, I want y'all to decide the reason why that they made a mistake like that they've been doing so much and so well. And I've been looking at, why did this order come in right after they was put to death? Read on.
Verse 8. And the Most High spake unto Aaron, saying.
See, the Most High is he done already put them to death. They offered unauthorized fire, so they knew their job well. So why a mistake like that was made? So now the Most High is instituting another order after they are put to death. Read on.
Verse 9. Do not drink wine.
He said, do not drink wine. Now, it may, I'm saying maybe. I mean, I think that's how the scripture is reading. I mean, that's how I'm taking it. But I'm going to share it with you, brothers and sisters. Y'all look at that. Okay, it's a new rule being instituted. Most High, do not drink wine.
nor strong
or
drink,
strong drink,
thou, nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation,
unless you what?
unless ye die.
What happened to them boys?
And died.
Could they have been a little bit tipsy?
Come on.
Could they have been Mike? Could they have been at the Sabbath service, the middleman drinking that cup of wine like we did back in the days? Y'all remember that? Yeah, the middleman come in, he poured the wine in a cup. Some brothers used to get up there and fill that cup up, man. But we got a service to continue, man. Why are you filling that cup up? You know you're going to get a buzz. It's early Saturday morning. No, you ain't ate no breakfast, man. That's going to get into your bloodstream quick. Yeah. So that was part of the Sabbath service that we did way back at 125th Street. You know, the man come in the middle, and then he pour a cup, what he said, Barakatha Yahweh, Barak Yayan. Yeah, you remember that, right? And then he take it, and everybody looking at him, well, when he gonna take that? When he gonna take that cup down?
You're talking about way back. You make it sound like it's ancient history, brother.
Yeah, that was way back. Yeah, you know. Yeah, we drinking, drink that cup of wine and stuff. And I remember one Passover we had, I believe it was on 135th Street. Me and some other brothers sitting around, before the Passover service even started, man. We drinking wine. Masha comes in there. What you brothers doing? Sitting here drinking wine. We haven't even gave the Most High his yet. We haven't even did the service yet. We haven't even set up the prayers and y'all drinking wine. Yeah, it made us feel bad. Because drinking that wine, you getting that buzz on. And now you got to go into the service. So even back then, brothers said, no, man, don't mix that.
Right.
Don't be drinking wine and trying to do the service of the Most High.
Right.
Because back then, we was doing the Torah blessings. You know, the right over the left, you flip it, take the cover off and you hold it up. We may go back into that to show a lot of you young brothers. We may not necessarily do the blessings, but we would probably face the east and hold the Torah up. Y'all want that? Okay, we'll try to go into that.
Okay. Go into that blessing too.
Yeah. So
I like that.
where we at on this?
I'm in the middle.
Did you read?
I didn't read. I'm still in 9.
Okay.
Let me do it again.
Okay, do it again.
Reading out of Leviticus chapter 10, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Do not drink wine nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when you go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die.
Go ahead.
It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation.
Read the 10th verse.
And that ye may put difference between the holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean.
Read the 11th.
And that ye may teach the children of Israel all the statutes which the Most High has spoken unto them by the hand of Moses.
Okay, well, with these two young men, I'm just saying maybe had a little sip, went in there and got the incense, got the fire, but got the wrong fire. It was other fires there, looked the same, all fires burned. But the fire that the Most High said that I want you to take and burn the incense on, I want you to take this fire because this is my fire. This fire came from me. They didn't take that. That was the authorized fire. So they took maybe the fire that was to the left. Because that wine and strong drink can throw your, fog up your mind a little bit. Your decision making.
Looked like the right one to me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to Leviticus. Okay, we finished that one, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to 2 Chronicles 7 and 1. The book of 2 Chronicles 7 chapter and the first verse. Yeah, 2 Chronicles 7 chapter and the first verse.
Okay. Read out 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 1.
Verse 1, let's go.
Now when Solomon had made an end of praying the fire came down from heaven.
Fire came down from where?
The fire came down from heaven.
Come on.
And consumed the burnt offering and the sacrifices, and the glory of the Most High filled the house.
Filled the house. If you remember the stories when Pentecost came, the fires of tongue and all that. Yeah. And the whole room was filled with. That's how he operates, man.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to figure him out. Hard to figure out this power. Most I say, fear him. It's hard to figure him out. But like I said, them Levites had a dangerous job in the temple and dealing with the burnt offerings. And remember the time, to put the difference between the holy and the unholy, the clean and the unclean. Remember the Ark of the Covenant? When the Ark of the Covenant looked like it was going to rock over and this tilt over, then this brother Uzzah grabbed it. Mosai took him out right there because he wasn't authorized to be grabbing on. See, the Mosai, it's the little things, man. See, like if you was there, you probably would have, hey, let me help you. No, the Mosai didn't need your help that day. So from that point on, David feared the Mosai. And from that point on, the brothers was like, the ark started shaking. Man, I ain't touching that. No, don't touch that, brother. Yeah. And remember, the ark went into some heathens' house, Philistines, and it started killing them. But then it went into this other brother's house, and then it blessed it. See, so it's the holy and the unholy, the clean and the unclean. So it's the little things that we got to learn, the technical things. We got to learn about the Most High. See, about the Most High. Even the animals, when he speaks about a sparrow, you got to read about that too, man. Yeah, the little things about the Most High. When you think you know, see, we always talk about his power. Yeah, the Most High going to come back. No, but the sanctuary, the little things in how to worship the Most High, how to pray to the Most High. That's what you better try to learn. If you're going to fast, how to fast and be accepted by the Most High. That's what you need to learn.
That's right.
See, not that we know he's coming to kill and destroy. We know he's going to trample on the kingdoms. We know that. We know these empires is going out. We know that. See, we talk about the ferociousness of the Most High. But what about praying to him, serving him?
That's right.
What about fasting?
Right.
What about how to ask?
Right.
For things that you need. How?
That's right.
Right.
See, we got to learn that. Okay, from here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it all boils down to obedience.
Obedience, right.
Obedience.
Because the Most High is specific.
He's specific.
About stuff that you burn or prayers that you set up. Okay, he's specific about the incense, the oils. You know, the incense were made, they were special made. The fragrance that was connected to the Most High, that he ordained, they were special made. And if you duplicated those incense, that's death.
That's right.
See, you couldn't duplicate those incense. It was special made, man. So we try to get it as close as we can. We got the frankincense, we got the myrrh. No, we don't burn no cocoa mango. No, we ain't burning no African musk, no sex on the beach. We ain't burning none of that. So we try to get it as close as possible. You know, and then the rocks that we burning is defiled. That ain't the real deal. But hey, you know, let's the water to your house out for the grace. Yeah. So from here, let's go to Luke the 1st chapter and the 8th to the 10th verse. Because when you deal with the incense is connected with our prayers. And I'm going to try and show that. Luke the 1st chapter. From the 8th verse to the 10th verse. Luke the 1st chapter. From 8 to 10.
We're at Luke chapter 1. Verse 8.
Let's go.
And it came to pass that while he executed the priest's office before the Most High in the order of his course.
This is Zacharias. who was John the Baptist's father. His job was to execute the priest's office before the Most High. And what was actually his job? Let's go.
Verse 9. According to the custom of the priest's office, his lot was to burn incense.
His job was to burn incense. Now, why was he burning the incense? Come on.
He went into the temple of the Most High, and the whole multitude of the people were praying without at the time of incense.
What was they doing?
Praying.
So Zechariah was burning the incense, and then the multitudes of people, what was they doing?
Praying.
Praying, because the incense is connected with prayer. Okay, from here, let's go to Revelation, the 8th chapter, 3 and 4. Because, like I said before, you need a mediator to take your prayers up to the Most High. You need a mediator. Okay, because we're so defiled that you need that mediator to purify and cleanse your prayers. And the incense, that smoke, like when we get ready to read here, that's a representation of Yahweh's work. Okay, he's the mediator. His work that he did in earth for us as a nation, it helps us out with those prayers. Okay, because he is the mediator. Okay, come on.
Read out of Revelation chapter 8, verse 3. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before the Most High out of the angel's hand.
Out of whose hand?
Out of the angel's hand.
So they don't get there just by your mouth from you saying and to the Most High. It have to be a mediator. Okay? Let's go to Psalms 141 and 2. Okay, we getting ready to wrap up a little bit. Psalms 141 and the second verse. Psalms 141 and read the second verse. Then I'm going to get one more scripture, then we're going to close, then we're going to feast. Psalms 141 and the second verse.
We have Psalms chapter 141, 2. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense.
What it said, let what?
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense.
And what?
And the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
As we face the east, like so. Lifting up the hands, man. Okay? And look, you can't duplicate the Most High's fragrance, his oils, incense. If you do, that's death. What your oil's made of?
I made up nothing like that, bro.
What your oil's made of, bro? You put it on our head, but what the oil's made of, bro?
Missing some of the stuff that the Most High said.
Okay, we on the grace, right?
We on the right. Yeah, don't got everything the Most High.
Hallelujah, we on the grace, bro. The law right will take us all down, bro. Okay, this is the last scripture I'm gonna go to. Let's go to the book of Daniel, 5th chapter. From 1 to 9.
Which book?
The book of Daniel.
Which chapter?
From the 5th chapter, 1 to 9. The book of Daniel.
Read out the book of Daniel.
5th chapter.
Chapter 5.
Verse 1 to 9. Right, let's go.
Belshazzar, the king, made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords, and drank wine before the 1,000.
Belshazzar was a Babylonian king, a descendant of who was a well-known Babylonian king that y'all should know about. Nebuchadnezzar. He was a descendant of Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, come on.
Verse 2.
Now, in the first verse, he said he made a feast to thousands of his lords, and he drank wine before the 1,000. So I'm gonna show you where wine can kind of kind of throw your decision making off like it did those two young men in Leviticus the 10th chapter. They made the wrong decision of what's holy and unholy. They made a vital decision that cost them their life between the clean and the unclean, and that was from drinking. So now Belshazzar is going to make a major mistake. He's going to make a major mistake. Only if he had left certain things alone. Okay, you can get tipsy, man. You can bring your concubines, or you can show off your palace and that, but you better leave stuff that's holy. You better leave the Most High holy stuff alone. You can't bring anything holy that belongs to the Most High into a common situation. You can't do that. You can't bring a common situation into the holiness of the Most High. So either way, you're going to be put to death. You're going to be dealt with. Come on.
Yeah. If
you got something, go
keep
ahead.
the Most High out of your conversation.
Yeah.
If you're a little tipsy, or keep them out.
Well, now, and I know when brothers want to debate scriptures, they get a few drinks in them, and they think they the wisest brother that the Most High created. Yeah, brother. Now, in the book of Enoch, you know, I mean, well, we just can't stay in the Bible, brother. And I know you had a few, but Enoch said that it's different levels. You know, that's what everybody want to debate now. Give me another cup. See what I was saying? Now go back to the Bible. You and Ezra, you said the Bible, right? Oh yeah. You know, that's what everybody wants to debate when they get a little tipsy, when they take that drink, man. They want to open the scriptures now. Be all wise. Yeah, brother, go ahead. Read. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Verse 2, Belshazzar, whilst he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem.
Okay, the wine done gave you courage now. What the scripture say? Wine is a marker. Done gave you courage. Okay, you got everybody around you. You drinking that good wine, and you know you're drinking out of the vessels, and now you want to go further. Hey, look. Bring me them vessels that my father Nebuchadnezzar took from Jerusalem. I thank the God Yahweh, bring me his vessels. Go ahead, brother.
Which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives and his concubines might drink therein.
Okay, he besides himself now. You know, he's showing off now, right? You know, he's showing his power. You know, he done got a little tipsy now. Hey man, bring me those gold and silver vessels that my father, when he took these niggas down in what 586 BC, you know, the vessels is right over there. Go bring them to me. You know, so me and my wives and even my concubines, my prince, we gonna have a drink out of these vessels. Go ahead.
Party time.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of Yahweh, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives and his concubines drank in them.
Okay, what was holy? What was holy? Don't mix it with, you know, the common way of life, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 4. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold.
Did they praise the Most High? So they was mixing the holy with the unholy, the clean with the unclean. They drinking out of the Most High's vessels, but they didn't honor the Most High. They're honoring their gods. Let's go.
They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood, and of stone.
Right.
In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand.
Well, the Most High can get you, boy. And he half high too. So go ahead.
And wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed. And his thoughts troubled him.
Okay, he became sober then, huh? you know that high left. Go ahead.
So that the joints of his loins were loosened.
You said that the joints of his loins, man, he's shaking the joints of his loins was loose. That's fear. Go ahead.
And his knees smote one against another.
Yeah, there was fear there, brother.
Humana.
Yeah, go ahead.
The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers.
Right.
the Chaldeans and the soothsayers.
Right.
And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom.
Right.
Then came in all the king's wise men, but they did not read but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof.
Read on.
Verse 9. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his countenance was changed in him, and his lords were astonished.
Yeah, this thing was something. So they had to go find Daniel. They had to go find one of the Most High's men to break down this writing and tell Belshazzar what's really going on. Let's jump from here. Let's read the 18th verse.
Read out Daniel chapter 5 verse 18.
We're going to read the 18th all the way to the end.
O thou king, the most high Yahweh gave.
This is Daniel breaking everything down to the king. By this time, he done got sober now. You know, so Daniel's breaking down what he saw, right? Come on.
O thou king, the most high Yahweh gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, and majesty and glory and honor.
See? He said the Most High gave what? Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, glory, honor, majesty, because Nebuchadnezzar was set up to take down the southern kingdom called Judah. See, the Most High let these nations rise up over us because we wicked. We was rebellious against the Most High. So the Most High is not going to come and do the work himself. He's going to use people. Just like slavery. White man took us down, he used people.
That's right. Was
we good people? No. Are we good people today? No. We are bad people. So bad things happen to us, man. By the Most High. He sent nations after us, brother. We ain't got it right yet.
Right.
Continue to read.
And for all the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him, whom he slew, and whom he kept alive.
That's right.
And whom he set up, and whom he put down.
So Daniel is telling Belshazzar, he said, look, man, all the majesty the Most High, my God, gave to your father, he gave him all people, nations, gave him everything. They trembled and they feared before him. He slew them. If they wouldn't do what he said, he killed them. Okay, he spared them. He set them up and he took them down.
That's right.
He had the power because the God of Israel gave it to him. Go ahead.
Right.
Verse 20. But when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, he was deposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him.
And that happens all the time, man. When the Most High give you that spirit to lead and to be something, and you don't give the Most High the credit, you take it on yourself, because Nebuchadnezzar was, who is God? I did all this myself. The Most High said, and I will show you. The Most High broke him down. The Most High had him like a beast. Yeah, he couldn't even function to even run his kingdom. Yeah, but when he started repenting and when he came, acknowledged the Most High, the God of Israel, yeah, he had to repent to the Most High. I apologize, God.
Right.
The Most High set him back to his kingdom.
Right.
And Manasseh was one of the kings of Judah.
Right.
You can find his prayer in the Apocrypha, in the book of Manasseh. That's a long prayer. Now, when he went into captivity, they locked him up in a Babylonian prison. And he started crying out to the Most High. And the Most High set him back on his throne. And he ruled longer than any Israelite king of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. I think he ruled about, 55 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ruled longer because when the Most High took him out of prison and set him back on his throne, I don't think he was sacrificing children no more. I don't think he was burning them in the fire to Molech. I don't think he was doing that no more. That's why his years expanded, man. Okay, so the Most High wants you to do the right thing. You make mistakes, acknowledge them, and bounce back. So Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel is explaining to Belshazzar about his ancestor, Nebuchadnezzar. Look, my God did such and such, but when he got puffed up with pride, Most High took him down. You can find that in Daniel the 4th chapter 2. Go ahead.
And he was driven, but when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, he was deposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. And he was driven from the sons of men.
See, that's what a lot of men want. Power and glory. Even us today. Israelite schools. What they want? Power and glory. But you have seen some when the Most High get too proud, the Most High take them down.
Right.
And you lose everything.
Right.
Everything. But you got to bounce back. See, some of us would lose, then we'll step away from the word. See, we want to get mad at the Most High now. We want to start blaming the book. This Bible, man, is that a King James Version? You want to go into something else now. Okay, you just repent and come back.
Right.
Get it right, man.
That's right.
And stop being proud, man. Take low. Come on, let's go.
And his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven.
Yeah, the Most High took Nebuchadnezzar down so low, his whole mental state that he was in, he couldn't function as a king, man. His decision making, couldn't make decisions. He couldn't even go to war. Couldn't even clean himself. Yeah, people had to feed him, man. Yeah, like old animal. Yeah, couldn't even change.
Right.
People had to clothe him. Yeah, but this was almighty Nebuchadnezzar II, the Babylonian king. Oh, great Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead and read.
Till he knew that the Most High Yahweh ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointeth over it whomsoever he will.
Right, come on.
And thou, his son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart.
That's all it takes, man. That's all the Most High, for you to humble your mind, your heart. Go ahead.
Though thou knewest all this.
And Belshazzar knew the history. He knew all this with his father. He knew the history. He knew what happened, but he gonna go get these golden vessels up and start drinking wine, mocking. Go ahead.
But has lifted up thyself against the Most High power of heaven, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives and thy concubines have drunk wine in them, and thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know, and the power in whose hands thy breath is, Zechariah. And who are all thy ways have thou not glorified? Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written.
Okay, see, what the Most High wanted is a separation between the holy and the unholy, the clean and the unclean. He was doing well. Drinking, okay, you got your concubines, you got your women there, you got your lords there, you're showing your power, you're showing your palace. Okay, all that's cool. You're nice garment, you're sitting back, you got power, you done conquered this nation, you're still sitting in power. But now you want to go get the Most High's vessels. You want to go mix the holy with the common thing now. See, the Most High was all right. But when you did that and started drinking out of the vessel and worshiping the gods of silver and gold, that's when the mixture, the Most High had to make it right. No, you're not going to mix the holy with the unholy.
Right.
You're not going to mix the clean with the unclean. I got to take you out now. Come on.
Verse 25. And this is the writing that was written. Mani, Tekal, Upharsin. This is interpretation. The thing, Mene. The Most High has numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekal. Thou art weighed in the balance and art found wanting. So
the Most High just didn't take out Belshazzar, the Babylonian king. He took out the kingdom. The kingdom. When David messed up, the Most High dealt with the nation. See, because you in a position as a leader or king or prince or priest, what you do, if you slip up, that can affect the rest of the people. So that means we have to walk according to the guidelines of the scriptures.
That's right.
Because with Belshazzar, his mistake, the mistake that he made cost him the kingdom. And it say in 1 hour, a sneak attack, what the Persians and the Medes did, a sneak attack, took him out. They in their pardon, it said at that very hour, that very night, as the handwriting was on the wall, that very night, their kingdom was taken.
That's right.
Without a sword. The Persian and Medes was already on them. Go ahead.
Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians.
Come on.
Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom.
The third ruler. Go ahead.
Verse 30. In that night was Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain.
Come on.
And Darius, the Median, took the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
Okay, and that's when the Persians and the Medes took the Babylonian kingdom down. And they did a sneak attack on the Babylonians. And they did it this way. They swim in the Euphrates River. But what they did when they went into the river, they went, they had gates in the river. But what the Persians and the Medes did, got into the river and they swam under the gates. And they were swimming in the Euphrates River. They went under the gates and they entered into Babylon. And they did a sneak attack and took them out, man. Okay? So with that, brothers and sisters, that's the end of my class. Put a difference between the holy and the unholy. The difference between the clean and the unclean. Okay, put a difference between the common and what's consecrated. And that's the end of my class. Shalom.
Shalom.